Hey guys! We are in Slovakia now.
I need to stand up,
Okay. Oh, we tried to get on the same level, but there we go. That's much better. Yeah, there we go, the angle. We are in Slovakia now, and we've just had a very long journey, overnight train, but we are here now, and we've just finished our chapter in Hamburg, and visiting Pastor Rudy and Via Church, and it was a phenomenal time, and we thought we would just share a few thoughts about how we think the church is doing and how God is moving. So we had a meeting with Pastor Rudy on one of the first days, and how did that go, Vin?
Yeah, so that was good. He took us out for breakfast, which was delightful, and we were just chatting through how the church has gone. So they launched in September last year, and they're currently running one service a month, and we really thought Rudy was great. We thought he was
great guy,
super wise. He was really aware of burnout. He was trying not to work himself too hard, and he seems to be progressing the church really well. They're seeing decent numbers. They're seeing 60, 70 every service they have, which I think is very good for a startup church. Yeah. And they're looking ahead to branch out to 2 services a month, and then in the mid to long term to weekly. But it seems like he's not too much in his comfort zone, just chilling with 1 service a month. But he's also not moving too fast, which could.
He's very aware of sustainable growth. Yeah. And not going too fast too early on, and I mean the team just burning out and then it sort of faltering, but really making sure the structures are in place to have 2 services, and then their end goal in maybe 2 or 3 years is to have a service every week. But he's very aware, and he's he knows that he mentioned
burnout a lot.
Burnout, he's very aware of burnout. He's very much
a family man. He's kind of very acknowledging of the importance of family time and rest and that kind of thing, which is good to see.
And also, we loved how he was. He took his role as like a shepherd so seriously, and so we were there for 3 days, and he took us out multiple times, and even when he had like a lot of work and a lot of preparation,
report to do, he had a sermon to write. It was crazy.
And he was taking us out and everything, and
stayed up till 4 a.m. on the day of the service to translate his sermon to English just so we could understand it, which was the absolute heart of gold. Yeah,
what a man. We love this man now.
We love him.
When he greeted us for the first time, he gave us a big bear hug, and it's just like what a guy. Yeah.
What else do we? So he really sees the importance of small groups, which is great because that's made a big difference for both of us.
Yeah, we're big fans of small groups.
Small groups, and this thing called huddles, which is better for like a group of 4 or 5 for accountability, vulnerability, that kind of thing. So they run them simultaneously.
I love the word huddles.
Yeah,
it's like penguins. I love it.
We thought one of the things we thought is that they don't have like an Arise equivalent service yet, so not like a worship only service like we do at All Dates, and I think that could be really good.
Good in the future, and build a community and everything.
At the service we went to, we really enjoyed it, but the one thing we felt is that there could have been like a longer block of worship, because there was only 2 songs in a row once, never 3 songs in a row, and only 2 songs in a row once, and we felt like there could be a bit more of an extended time of worship.
But I love the thing about the service was it felt so genuine and so human, and it it didn't feel like just going through the motions. Like, okay, we'll pray now, then we'll read Bible, and then we'll sing a song, and then we'll have a sermon, and then and it didn't feel like it was just going through the steps. Like it felt really It felt real, and just like proper true worship, which was really nice.
Rudy also said he's part of a big network of pastors in Hamburg, both like of all churches, but also for church planters specifically, which I think is great. That was kind of lacking in Amsterdam a bit, but that's really exciting, and that's always good. They're super aware of bringing non-Christians in. They're running like a summer feast, they're calling it, which is like a barbecue and games and fun and that kind of thing to invite non-Christians in and like create put Via on the map, I guess. It's kind of like All Dates doing bacon rolls on May morning, that kind of idea. And
we were chatting with one of his team members, Matthias. He took us out one night for dinner, and we were asking him about the church and how he thinks it's going. He's part of the team, and one of the things he said was he thought the church was doing really, really well in terms of like the organised events and stuff like that, but maybe perhaps in the future for growth, going sort of the organic community. So where you have mission and you have community, and it's doing the organised versions of those things really well, but the sort of organic, how would you articulate it?
so aside from all the services and the events, which he thought were doing really well, like making connections between non-Christian friends and Christian friends, and it's less of like a thing for the church to do, more like a discipline to encourage for each leaders. Individual, both firstly for the team and then for the congregation. It's kind of, I don't know, it's quite hard to measure that or really implement it, but I think it's a great idea to
just so that when non-Christians can meet Christians in not a church context, so sort of less intimidating, and then have links so that Christians can invite their non-Christian friends to church, and you can go, oh well, this person and this person and this person already, so it's not such a foreign atmosphere. But
there was really great unity in the team. If you saw our daily update video from the first night, it was we said like it felt like we'd known them for years, felt like a big family, and that's so good to see.
The team unity, they really love each other.
They love each other.
They're a big family.
So well, and it feels like because of the way they've come together, it's more via friendships and connections and that kind of thing. It just feels like a big family. So I think the only thing really limiting their growth is resources. So money, but primarily people. So they're kind of in need of backup for worship. So there were like a few worship members ill this week, and they had to
on holiday or something,
get people from another church. And it was great. The worship was great, but they need a more regular rota and backup. And Mikey, who was one of the other team members we chatted to, says a really phrase was fat, i.e. faithful, available, and teachable.
And it was how do you get
more fat people to volunteer and become part of the team?
And I was just like, widen the door frames.
Got to put up with this man for a month.
I thought that was quite clever, but
he said the people in Inventio, which is like their alpha equivalent, there's potential there.
They're putting on weight.
Don't get this man started.
But they're not fully fat yet. They're not faithful, available, teachable.
You've got to know that if you're going to make the jokes, you can't just call them fat. But I think there's a problem with a lack of volunteers. But I think maybe they should push more for that in services. Maybe asking people to volunteer. Because I'm sure there's a lot of talented people, like they're having to learn all the tech stuff themselves. Yeah. And maybe there isn't anyone techie in the congregation, but there may well be, and it might just take a request for that kind of thing.
And we were talking to Rudy, and he said it's sort of similar to Amsterdam in a way where people live just such busy lives that they're reluctant to commit to serving. I mean, even part time. So it's quite difficult to get congregation to commit, and they sort of. Because they're just so busy and they live such hectic lives that when they come to church, it's on their Sunday. They're not really thinking about serving. So is there that attitude shift could be something to look at sort of in the future?
And I think the thing is with the team size, that's the key for moving forward into 2 services a month and further beyond, because you can't just do it with the size of team that they have at the moment, and they can't afford to pay for more employed people. So they really need those volunteers. So I think that's maybe the only thing they could push more for that in services. But otherwise, we're really impressed by what we've seen.
Really lovely church,
lovely people,
lovely atmosphere. Just great. Took us all around Hamburg and bought us meals, and just really lovely place.
It's in great hands.
It's in great hands, and we're hopeful. But
sweet. Well,
hope you're having a blessed day, and see you soon for the next update. Bye.